I recently did a review of a 10-year-old MRE. It was menu number 4, Cheese and Veggie Omelet. And this was done mainly because of the entree. The Cheese and Veggie Omelet has generally been considered the worst MRE of all time. Opinions will vary, of course, but I didn't see any reason to go against that. And it's sort of unfair to call it the worst MRE of all time because everything else in it was fine. It's just the omelet itself is a bit sketchy. But of course, in reviewing a 10-year-old MRE, it meant I was reviewing a 10-year-old entree. And the only real fair way to review it would have been to have a brand new entree. But unfortunately, or fortunately as it may be, the Cheese and Veggie Omelet was only produced for 4 years, from 2005 to 2008. Now, somebody had commented in the video that there is somebody who still manufactures the Cheese and Veggie Omelet. And it seems like I had seen them around somewhere too, so I thought maybe it was possible. I didn't understand why, with the variety and the quality of MREs today, why anyone would still be making that one. But it also occurred to me that if somebody was making it, it would be a good chance to try out a brand new Cheese and Veggie Omelet and see if it's as bad as the old one. So I found someone on eBay that was selling an egg omelet with vegetables and cheese, MRE. And I figured I'd go ahead and pick one up and try a newer one. Now this video is going to be part review, part fun, I hope, and also part cautionary tale. Because I've never considered myself an expert on MREs, but obviously I've had more than my fair share, and I do know a little bit about them. And I've warned people many times that if you're going to buy them on eBay or anywhere else in the secondary market, you have to make sure you're getting what you think you're getting. I think the biggest problem with people selling on eBay is, whether on purpose or whether because they're simply not familiar with MREs, they'll call an MRE brand new or fresh, despite the fact that it's 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 years old. And it can be really hard, especially if you don't know a lot about them, to make sure that you're getting something that actually is fresh. So as it turns out, this is a case where I got taken myself. And I don't think that it was on purpose. I don't think the seller was trying to deceive anybody. But the simple fact that MREs are packaged makes it possible for somebody, whether trying to deceive people or totally innocently, to list their products as brand new in an unopened package, because it is an unopened package, so it's never been used. So as far as the eBay rules go, it's brand new. Like if you were buying a shirt that still had the original tags and had never been worn, even if it was 10 years old. So as I mentioned, the genuine one we looked at was from 2005. It was 10 years old. In this one, I was expecting to see something a little bit newer, and if I look closer in the listing on eBay, I would have seen that you actually can see the date code in one of the pictures, and the date code on it is 6055, which means that this was packaged on the 55th day of 2006. So this is not a new MRE by any means. It's 9 years old. So it kind of negates the fact of trying a newer Cheese and Veggie Omelet, because it's only 1 year newer and it's still very much vintage, being 9 years old. But that was point one, is to once again warn about buying stuff on eBay or online where you can't actually physically see the product and know just how new it is. And even if you did know, even if this was brand new, like from like a year or so ago, I wouldn't have any way of knowing how it was stored. It could have been in a really, really hot environment and it could still be bad even if it was relatively new. And the second point I wanted to make was that you have to be careful with civilian or commercial MREs too. In general, they make a very good alternative to genuine ones. They can be cheaper, they can be more convenient to find, and of course they don't have the US government property commercial resale is unlawful warning on them, so they can be sold anywhere. But like I said, the commercial ones can be a good alternative, and in fact the 3 companies that make genuine MREs, Zapaco, Mre, and Warner Company, also make their own commercial versions. Zapaco makes their SurePack meals, Warner makes the EverSafe meals, and Mre makes the APAC meals. I have done reviews on a couple of these, but there's still some that I haven't even tried. But for the most part, with these, you're getting the same thing you'd get in a genuine MRE, just a little bit less. In addition to those 3 companies, there's also Mre Star, another one I've never tried, but as far as I know, it's a pretty good company. And the 2 newest companies, Meal Kit Supply and XMRE. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend any of these to somebody looking to buy some MREs. The thing that can be tricky is that there is yet another thing, which MREinfo.com calls private label civilian MREs. They go by either private label or store brand. And these are things which are passed off as being genuine MREs sometimes. But they're kind of lame in comparison to what's in a genuine one and what's in most of the good quality commercial ones. These, I don't know exactly how this works. The store will contract to a company to make them. They may even put them together themselves. Maybe an online company will have them. And this is one of those. It comes in very clear packaging. Some of the civilian ones come in clear packaging, but at least they have either printing on the bag or they have a card inside saying what it is. This is just a plastic bag. There's no date code on here. There's no writing whatsoever. And there isn't even a peelable seal, actually. So as long as you know what you're getting, it's still, I mean, it's certainly okay. It's just that you really shouldn't be expecting to be getting what you're going to find in a real MRE. And since this one doesn't say anything on it, I have no idea where this originally came from. The listing in eBay did show a case, and it looks like what the 5-star gear MREs used to come in. I don't think they make them anymore, which is not too much of a surprise since this is from 2006. But I think this is going to be pretty typical of those store brand ones. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is in here. There's not a heck of a lot in here, but we'll take a look anyway. Is the egg omelet with vegetables and cheese from 2006. It also does include some genuine Mre Crackers from the 292nd day of 2005. And we also have a 9-year-old Nutria Fruit Bar from Daddy Ray's. Let's see if I've ever heard of that. And this one, not being in a retort pouch, it should be interesting to see how edible this is. Oh well, I don't know. This obviously wasn't meant to last this long. And then we have an accessory kit. So it's basically these crackers, a fruit bar, and the entree, and then a kit here. Accessory pack. Which doesn't even have a napkin, but it has a pretty flimsy little spoon in here. Whoa, jeez, almost broke that thing. Yeah, it's very flimsy. We do have coffee, Farmer Brothers coffee, instant coffee, and some Dixie Crystal sugar, no creamer. It does have salt and pepper. The pepper's a nice touch. It actually has matches. This is something I actually really wouldn't expect to see in an MRE like this, but yeah, it's got matches too. And it has a moist towelette. And some grape jelly. 9-year-old grape jelly in a little squeeze pouch here. So as you can see, you're definitely not getting a lot of food with this thing. Like I said, it's not a problem as long as you know that going into it. If you're just looking for something that's a light lunch and you can find these really cheap, there's nothing wrong with what you're getting here, other than being 9 years old, of course. But if we compare this to a genuine MRE from 2006 for the Cheese and Veggie Omelet, you can see that that included not only the omelet, but also hash browns with bacon, jam, crackers. It also had cinnamon scone, a sugar-free beverage, hot sauce, accessory packet C, which included apple cider, so it had another beverage. It had 2 beverages. Well, it didn't have coffee, which is kind of strange for a breakfast meal. But salt, chewing gum, matches, toilet paper, and hand cleaner. Had the genuine MRE spoon, flameless ration heater, and hot beverage bag. Since this one doesn't have the flameless ration heater, my first inkling would be to go ahead and eat this cold, but I'm not going to do that because it's a cheese and veggie omelet. Since it doesn't have the flameless ration heater, it gives me the opportunity to go ahead and put it in boiling water, which I think will be a lot more effective. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll eat this thing. Alright, now if you happen to be interested in the ingredients in this for some reason, here they are. And if you are also interested in the nutritional facts for this extinct MRE, they're right here. 40% of sodium, and something that, as far as I remember, is pretty flavorless. Here is our interesting design on here. Here's our 2006 cheese omelet with veg. This thing is, let's take the last one, it's really long. I'm going to have to flip this over, I think, to get the whole thing heated up. But we'll give that a few minutes to get really nice and hot. Hopefully a little bit more edible too. And while that heats up, we'll take a look at, there's not a heck of a lot else in here, but we'll take a look at what is in here. We have our almost 10-year-old Mre Crackers. It has the two genuine MRE components, the omelet and the crackers. Everything else is, whatever is in here is commercial. Let's see if we have the hiss. This is obviously still very well vacuum sealed. Yeah, it wasn't a very loud one, but there was definitely a hiss and a release of the air. These smell fine. I've been pretty lucky with the vintage crackers. Seen Gundog and Kiwi Dude having some major issues. I'd better knock on wood because I've been pretty lucky so far. Those smell fine, and I'm a little bit more concerned about this 10-year-old grape jelly. This kind of thing you'd find like in a diner. It looks okay though. Looks like grape jelly. A little bit runny, but probably how it was originally. We have our Nutria Fruit Bar. Not very soft. Smells like a Fig Newton. And it looks like a Fig Newton. Kind of feels like a petrified Fig Newton. It's got a little bit of age there. But yeah, it smells like it should. Other than being a bit hard, I think it's probably going to be edible. I hope. Alright, I didn't notice this, but on the packaging, under the Nutria Fruit, it does say Fig Bars, so that explains why it smells so much like a Fig Newton. And the only thing left is the Farmer Brothers coffee. And I'll go ahead and use the sugar too. Hopefully this won't melt the spoon. Ooh, doesn't smell. I'm not a coffee drinker, but as I mentioned before, I do like the smell of coffee. This doesn't smell particularly appetizing. I don't know if it's just because it doesn't have creamer or if it's just the brand. It's hard to believe it has sugar in it. Oh, it looks and smells like black coffee. Oh well. Alright, now it's time for our entree. And this thing is incredibly hot. Like the last one, the 10-year-old one, when heating this up, the lamination seems to have a bit of an issue on the packaging. It's definitely a concern, I think, being so old. And I was actually going to use some of the water that I was boiling for this, for the coffee, but when I poured it into a coffee cup, it didn't look very clear, and it had some weird black thing floating in it, so I decided to make up some separate waters to be safe. This thing is very full. It doesn't feel quite as solid as the last one I had, so I'm not sure what's going to come out of here. But there's only one way to find out. Oh my god. That is nasty. And like I said, I mean, this is 9 years old. Ooh. Ah. It certainly is possible that it was more appetizing when it was brand new, but that's just kind of gross. I'm going to say I have no idea what this brown thing is here. Hopefully it's just the egg being cooked to a certain brownness. I don't know. But I had said in the beginning that I was hoping to make this video kind of fun, and what I was thinking was if this proved to be edible, which I really don't know if it is, but I guess I'm going to have to say it is. I don't usually do food challenge type videos, but I am going to attempt to eat this entire 8-ounce omelet relatively quickly. And just as an added bit of fun and a challenge, I'm not going to put any salt and pepper on it. Actually, first, before we get to that, let's try this stuff here. So the cracker, I did try that little corner here, but let's just make sure that it's as good as it seems to be. It just tastes like an MRE cracker. Not seem to have gone bad at all. Let's see how the grape jelly is. It's a little on the dark side, I guess, but yeah, what do you want for 9-year-old jelly? Yeah. First taste, first taste seems to be okay. I don't seem to be getting any aftertaste. Let me try a little more. Yeah, it seems to be fine. Let's try this Nutria Fruit Fig Bar. Oh, yeah. Right. Wow, that's very past its date. Not pleasant to eat that at all. And I figured being hard wouldn't be a problem, but it's almost painful. It's so hard. I don't know if I'm gonna finish that. Try the coffee. Doesn't do anything for me. Ew, it's. I think I need creamer. I don't know. Which brings us to the main event, the omelet, which is a typical cheese and veggie omelet. It's a weird loaf of egg. Ooh, sorry. Luckily it's hot. It's a little jiggly. Although it's also partially the spoon that's doing the jiggling. Yeah, it's got peppers in there, green peppers. I think it has should have tomato in there. This thing's already starting to look weird. Look at the surface. Just from being out for a couple minutes. And there's like weird grayish brown stuff inside here. But I guess we gotta do this, right? Ugh. Oh man. No. No better than the one from 2005. I would even say maybe a little bit worse. You know what? I said I was gonna not use a salt and pepper, but I am gonna attempt to eat this. I can't make any promises, but I'm gonna try to eat this whole thing, so I don't think a little salt and pepper will be too much of a cheat. If it is, I'm sorry. But hopefully you'll understand. Alright, here we go. Some crispy parts in there. And I said in the last one, it's a very unpleasant texture. Oh, and it's got this weird thing. The other one did this too. As you're eating, it almost makes your mouth feel funny. It feels like there's something below your tongue, or there isn't anything there. It's a really weird sensation. It can't be a good thing. God help us, it's a good idea. I have nothing to wash it down with other than this girl's coffee, too. Ugh. Alright, let's get this over with. Oh boy. Why did I say we'd do this? There's some of the pepper there. Come on. Put a little bit of this jelly on here. I don't know. It screams for hot sauce. Anything to mask the flavor. I really don't know how to explain that sensation it gives you. The taste is bad enough, but that weird feeling on the bottom of your mouth, under your tongue. It's strange. Ugh. You know what? I don't think this is worth getting sick over. Sorry to say, but I'm gonna call it quits on that. I need to get something better to wash it down with too. Alright, you know what? I did say I would do this, didn't I? Let's just eat this thing. I do have a little bit of water though. How often do you get a chance to have one of these things? Luckily, not very often. Oh. Probably. No. Not a good idea at all. We don't usually have a gag reflex problem with MREs, but this one's getting pretty close. Ooh, that's not good. I don't see how anybody could enjoy that. It's edible, and if you're starving, you'd probably ingest it, but there's nothing good about it. Anyway, that was a look at another egg omelet with vegetables and cheese. This one from 2006. From a no-name company. Private label or store brand. MRE. Thank you for watching, and I hope I survive.